survival of this individual, also survival of the fittest group. And you will benefit if your group benefits. You yourself benefit if your group benefits. So your whole group needs to survive. And the group that is most flexible to adaptation, that is the group that is most likely to survive. So an element of being able to survive or to be able to adapt to circumstances, that relates to things like cooperation. That relates to the ability of members of different groups to act on behalf of the group, even at the expense of one's own benefit. You can do things have a conversation. Um, so what you want to do in order for you to survive is work on behalf. Do that as part of my job. Try to get team player. The team walks by the way, every single class. One way. The team, and I will be honest, my part, but like we want the university to thrive. If the university thrives, if enrollments go up, if everybody's happy, students are thriving, then I'm better off, right? The group survives, and I can serve the group, and then I benefit from doing that as well. Durkheim, as I mentioned, is all about. Durkheim is all about this. As we talked about, to be happy is to be moral, and to be moral is to be socially regulated. And this falls apart, that's me. But the idea is all social structures and institutions, their whole purpose and function is to place moral limits on our natural limits appetites. This is what morality does. This is what morality does. It enables society to happen. If you want to look like a building block, how are we not all living? And how do we prevent the world all gets all? The answer for Durkheim is the sense of social cohesion, a shared moral sense that binds us together, that's necessary for society to happen. People cannot just be individuals hunting and doing stuff on their own. Us coming together requires shared moral sense, shared moral group necessary for what's sometimes called a collective conscience. Collective conscience is sometimes defined as the set of the most deeply held and widely shared values of community. Set of the deeply held and widely shared values of community. If you have a shared moral sense, everybody agrees with the same thing. That's necessary for a community to exist. It's necessary for a community to function and to be a happy. We need morality. We can't have an amoral society. It's a necessary component. It's necessary. We need it in order for human beings to be able to cooperate. That's all the good stuff. It also blinds. Morality also blinds. Though morality is a product of both nature and nurture, people choose moral systems that have consequences for what they do. I think this is really interesting because if we're taking Hike's arguments to the extreme, which I don't think actually, not even the extreme, it's a lot of who do you vote for this year if you choose to vote? Who do you vote for? I think we start nature. Like it's built in nature. Who do you vote? Police department. The human agency is all different kind of thing, but they're also very dramatic. Who do you vote for? Where do you go to church? If you go to church, what you believe in, how you choose your friends. These types of social processes, social outcomes, are driven by nature and nurture and conditions of morality, your own moral sense. How you view the death penalty, how you view incest. These things are going to be conditioned by nature and nurture that combine form your own personal morals. And that's going to have an implication for what you do and how you and then how you interact with others element is crucially important. All differences between division, they create antipathy. This is crucially important to understand because it impacts your lives. It impacts my lives here, but it impacts your lives directly. So we have a survey here that was done only a couple of years ago, right? Small shares of Republicans and Democrats assign positive description to the opposing party. Small is an understatement. Republicans have very negative views of Democrats, and Democrats have very negative. of this is like a clear out of political divisions that come from disparate moral senses, dissimilar moral senses. And as Hyde implied in that talk, which again was in 2008, like political divisions and what those mean in their different cases. I mean, that's only become a hotter topic since that time. You have groups of people, including groups of young people, who view others as enemies of themselves, as enemies of their country. They won't hang out with them, they won't go on dates with them, be friends with them, they won't work. What's kind of interesting here is also the effect of the budget there for young men. Republicans are pretty interesting because even though as the Democrats are allocating big and large, this big amount of foolishness happening among them. I'm not saying that there's anything that's morally upright on your end, like basically the same sort of party as you. Well, we can go to Turner. We can see how many of you would date outside of who was your political. Some of you would date who would not date outside of not so. So what we typically tend to find is that these kinds of moral senses are crucially important for all of the time. Now, what's kind of interesting also is that I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole, but this works its way into the university. It's worked its way into the university because while you can have groups of faculty who are high openness to experience, let's say, and then somebody comes in to interview for a job and and they say something that's like contradictory to like the shared values of the group. Hell no, that person's not getting a job. You can see the group come together. It's open-minded as you that see in social science and humanity believes really hard to live. It's put on makes groups of it. It's that video. Watch it. And his point is that we do not have diverse colleges, intellectually diverse colleges for this reason, because we're mobilizing the moral foundation in ways that rewards loyalty to India. And they kind of accumulate over time. It can be kind of self-fulfilling God. It can fuel itself. So that's something that for a while until we started looking at really recently, like anxiety and depression and phone use among kids, like adolescents. This is what this was like the drum beat would be about tonight. We need to rethink how we structure universities and the kinds of ideas that are presented to the university. Well, throwing it in small play. Anyway, last thing I want to mention is moral foundation for crime. Moral foundation for crime. What's the effect of the moral foundation on it's very, very studied. The handful of studies and a handful of colleagues that I know in the discipline do this kind of work. This is what the research that they have done shows. People who score higher on the care of our moral foundation are less likely to engage in violent crime. Those who score higher on the authority and subversion moral foundation are less likely to use marijuana. Also, kind of makes sense about marijuana use. It's kind of a anti-authoritarian. And those who and great independence totally have questions. Those who score higher on parent cheating moral foundation, less likely to illegally use moral foundation. I think it's like that's a great hackback question. Why is it that being more sensitive to parents cheating makes you more likely to play and switch your phone down while you're driving? I think that's kind of interesting. It's also important to note is that we do see political divisions in Democrats and liberals generally are more likely to commit all types of crime, especially non-violent crime, than conservatives. There's a couple of reasons for this that we could go into. One is that they were like a moral foundation. That's the argument here. Frankly, one of the same people. some year things. But these sort, by the way, is like the numbers intermediate. We see very little and more like the text front. There are a couple of reasons for this. One is that certain types of criminal behavior reflect these kind of like authority type moral foundations. They're triggering last year was moral foundations related to authority stuff. We also know that people who are very difficult are very much more open to experience. So talk about low self-control, say police department dimension, like conscience, the maybe last though is experience. What's also important to note is that it's a behavior area, do not where people live. And so where you live in the city, you want the opportunity in the city, all we can be well that height and all great potential like that. You can dig into these units in front of them, considering the problem. We go on very